Hello everyone. Welcome to my kitchen. I am Chef Natalie Palmer of Elegantly Raw Cuisine and a doctor of clinical nutrition. I believe that elegantly raw food is medicine. Now we're doing it a little different tonight. I will not be in the camera tonight because I want you to see exactly what I'm preparing for our wonderful day 10 of our 21 days of elegantly raw living foods cuisine. Tonight's recipe is called a sunflower tuna pate. And when I say tuna, I don't mean fish, and I hate to use the word tuna in a plant-based recipe. The nourish sheet will give the recipe that fishy taste and flavor. It will also provide iodine, natural iodine that's so healthy for our thyroids. And it's rich in a lot of natural minerals. So it's a really important addition or ingredient to a recipe. And depending on the seaweed that you get, which is a vegetable from the sea, you can also get some really good omega-3 fatty acids as well. All right, so let's see what else we're putting in this recipe. We have soaked, rinsed, and sprouted sunflower seeds. We have parsley. Normally I use fresh parsley, but for some reason the parsley didn't make it into the bag when I went to the grocery store. So I'm going to use a little dry parsley, but generally speaking, fresh parsley is ideal for this recipe, as well as fresh dill will give it a really nice flavor. We're going to use salt to bring out the flavors, some fresh garlic. Of course, I love garlic in most things, and we know that garlic has a lot of therapeutic benefits, including antimicrobial. It's great for the immune system. It helps with circulation. It helps with so many different things, garlic. And then we have a lemon here that balances out gives you a really nice tangy, salty flavor. And then we have the bell pepper. So let me tell you what a pate is. A pate is really a simple mixture of some type of nut or seed with a vegetable, and that's really and some type of herb. So that's really what a pate is in a raw food language, or in raw food culinary world. We call pates a combination of nuts or seeds with a vegetable and an herb, and then you flavor it up, you make it tasty, you add your salt and different things like that. So let's get started with our recipe. So tonight we are just going to use a food processor, and we'll start by adding our garlic, but I know sometimes it could be a little strong, so you use the amount of garlic that's good for you. And I'm going to put my gloves on while that is chopping up there. All right. But I have on my chef hat in case you're wondering. All right, so I want to see if this is a better angle for you guys. All right, so the garlic is finished chopping up, and I want to add some liquid to the blender. So I'm going to add in the blender my pepper to give it some liquid. So you need about 1 whole pepper for this dish. Yeah, so I'm just going to drop that in the blender. You can take the seeds out. I didn't take all of it out, all of the seeds out. All right, so the goal is to get more vegetable in the recipe than seeds. We want to use more vegetables in this recipe than seeds, right? But you still get the benefit from the sunflower seeds. All right, so you see all that liquid that's being created in the base of the blender. All right, I'm gonna hit stop for a minute to show you. I hope I wasn't shouting over the blender. That bright orange look there. So now I'm gonna take our soaked and sprouted sunflower seeds. I'm going to add them to the blender, the food processor, so that the food processor can chop this up. And I don't want it to be too smooth. I want it to have a little texture in it. So that's why I'm using the food processor rather than the blender. I've used the blender all week, so I'm so confused. Anyway, so let's get started. Now, sunflower seeds are an amazing low-fat seed that you can use to mix dressings and pâtés. It's rich in magnesium, vitamin E, vitamin, and it also supports your cardiovascular system and helps. Try and don't put extra liquid in here. All right, it helps support the cardiovascular systems, especially the integrity of your blood vessel walls. So get as sunflower seeds in your diet as you can, including it has high in protein as well. All right, so I could strain this off if I want. All right. We don't want extra liquid in the recipe, all right? We want it as nice and as thick as we can get it. If you wanted to add extra protein to this, you can add a little bit more of your hemp seeds, maybe 3 tablespoons to get that 10 grams of extra protein in here. And that will be perfect. And, you know, the hemp seeds are very high in omega-3s as well. All right, so let's blend this up and... So it seems as though this particular pepper has a lot of liquid. So we are going to add a little bit, about 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds in here to help absorb that extra liquid. Remember I said in the beginning that sometimes when we do raw foods, we have to adjust the recipe when we don't expect it. So the pepper has had a lot of water in there. So I'm going to add some hemp seeds to help absorb some of that water and add extra protein in the recipe. All right. So we'll add about 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds in there in the recipe. And we're adding extra protein. 1, 2, 3. There you go. All right. So, you can also add a little bit more sunflower seed if you like. Oops. All right. Yeah. All right. And I'm going to add now the parsley, and I'm going to pulse everything else in there. So you can add as many nori sheets as you like. It depends on your taste for the level of fishiness that you want. So I'm just gonna cut. This is about 2. Let me tell you, maybe like 2 sheets. 2 sheets should give you what you need. 2 nori sheets. And I'll show you the pack in a minute if I can find it. 2 nori sheets. All right. If you don't know what nori look like, this is what organic raw nori sheets. If you don't know if you have never seen them before. All right, so now I'm just gonna, I think that's enough. We'll add in the parsley. And don't put too much salt because the nori is already salty. And I want to put a little bit of lemon juice in there. All right. So we'll add the lemon juice. All right. Let's taste this. Taste test, taste test, taste test. All right, let's taste it. And that's it. If you wanted to add a little bit more, maybe a pepper or something, you can, like a hot pepper, like cayenne pepper, you could. So let's taste it. I think it needs a little bit more salt, but the flavor is amazing. So I'm gonna add a little bit more salt and a little bit more lemon juice. I love it. All right. So let's just go over the ingredients for the recipe before we move on. So the ingredients for this recipe is fresh garlic, about 3 to 4 cloves of fresh garlic, salt to taste, 2 sheets of raw nori, a teaspoon to a tablespoon of fresh parsley, and 3/4 cups of soaked and sprouted sunflower seeds. You can also chop up in here some celery if you like, fresh celery, to give it a crunch as well. And how would you use this? Oh, and I forgot, 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds to add some extra protein, to give you the protein you need. Remember I said 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds will give you 10 grams of protein. So you can't say that this recipe does not provide the protein that you need, and the hemp seed is a complete protein. Okay, so how would you use this recipe? You can use this in a raw wrap, maybe with kale leaves or collard green leaves. You can use it as a dip. You can use it with your cauliflower scramble on the side as like a protein addition to that dish. So many ways you can use this sunflower tuna pate addition to a lunch meal, where you can add it with some marinated vegetables. You can also use it as in place of a hummus, where you'll use a dip. I mean, so many ways. You can stuff peppers with this. You can stuff these small peppers with it. You can stuff an avocado with it. So many ways to use this sunflower tuna pate. I did add some salt, and I wanted to add a little bit more lemon juice. All right. I'm going to add a little bit more lemon juice. All right. Okay. Right. All right. So you see the consistency. So you need to know how are you going to use your pate. If you want it as a spread or a dip, then you want a consistency that's more on the wet side. If you want to use it in a way like maybe to stuff peppers or stuff an avocado, you will probably want to have a pate that's more on the drier side, which means you might use less bell pepper, because you have to take in consideration that you're adding lemon juice. If you want to use it as a spread on a cracker or on a raw bread, you would want it on the thin side. So depending on how you want to use the pate, it will determine how much liquid you want in the recipe. So you'll use less peppers, because the peppers has a high water content. All right, so there we go. This is our pate, and we'll taste it one more time. See how nice and bright and orange it is? That's what I'm talking about. Tastes like fish. Very fishy. I hope you like fish. If you don't like fish, Don't put the nourish sheets in there. Just make a plain pate. Okay, go. That's your pate recipe. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for joining my live. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. All right, bye.